From going on a John Wick hunt when his corgi Cheddar was kidnapped, to his hilarious reaction over boning his husband, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's Captain Raymond Holt is a gift that keeps giving. So let's take a look at his most iconic moments, starting with the cold abduction of Cheddar. The corgi. Everyone knows he's the apple of Holt and Kevin's eye, but one criminal ends up kidnapping him. Oh, big mistake. The captain gets so pissed at that, he resorts to leaping at cars, bringing out knives, and just raining down a storm on the kidnappers who dared to do that. Basically, he transformed from a calm police officer to a rage-filled Liam Neeson, who'd stop at nothing to get his baby back. I'm sure people with pets can relate. The entire episode was majestic, and of course, a livid Raymond is the true hero of it. He even saved Jake in his adrenaline-fueled rage, rescuing his fluffy son and adoptive son. Super cool. So word to the wise, don't mess with Cheddar. And while we're at it, I gotta warn you about one more thing about Holt. Don't ever say PhD holders aren't doctors in front of him. Otherwise, he can get worked up about it, and I mean yelling in your face worked up. As fans shockingly discovered in that jaw-dropping Season 5 episode, The Box, it's a trigger for him. Get this, Sterling K. Brown's killer guest appearance in it got him an Emmy nomination, but Andre Braugher isn't far behind either. He nailed the interrogation scene freakout when Brown's character turned the tables on him. In the episode, Jake and Holt were on the clock to get a confession from the dentist, and they probably tried every move in the book. One of them was making him frustrated by saying, "Dentists aren't doctors." The captain took the lead on that one, and for a while it was working. The suspect started getting all hot and bothered until he said it's not like he's a PhD calling himself a doctor. Oh, he went there. And Holt lost his cool big time. He went on a furious rant, and the audience loved it. Cut to moments later, we see a panting captain trying to calm himself with water. It's obvious that the interrogation trick didn't work, but fans did learn how he felt about the topic. Still, this was probably one of the few occasions the 9-9 station head went wild. Most of the time, he's calmly handling situations like a pro, even if that means playing the gay card. Man, that sassy Holt snap was a national treasure, and he blessed us with it in Season 5's premiere episode. In the episode, Jake and Rosa are behind bars, and the squad is trying to be there for them as much as possible. Diaz fully takes up on that offer, giving Raymond and Terry a list of chores, one of them being taking out her monster bike every now and then. Now who'll do that? Both the captain and his sergeant were not willing to step on that death machine. Jeffords tried to push it onto his boss with the excuse that he has kids. Again, Holt delivered a cheeky clap back, stating, does his life matter less if he isn't resorting to society's heteronormative child-centric practices? Whoa. Terry was like, is he bringing in his sexuality to get out of it? And the captain's epic response?
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen. You better believe it. People went gaga over it, saying this was perhaps the best use of the gay card they'd ever seen. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. Nobody is getting over it anytime soon. But there are more instances like this to fawn over, like his hot damn moment. It's no secret that Brooklyn Nine-Nine's cold opens are on another level, and I'd say the most entertaining ones come from Captain Holt. In this one, the usually super punctual Amy is late, and the gang is coming up with hilarious reasons as to why. The boss joins the fun, saying she got caught up at the bank. Nobody is too convinced by it, but wait, the joke's on them. When Santiago arrives moments later, she reveals she was at the bank, and Holt immediately celebrates with, "Hot damn!" Fun fact, even the cast broke character to laugh at that. Now I gotta say, there's no beating the captain when it comes to one-liners, but his hysterical gags aside, sometimes he can be so sensitive, it makes audiences love him even more. For instance, every time he and Rosa bond, the two share a special connection of being unexpressive on the outside, but emotional cuties inside. The captain has always been there for Diaz. In a pregnancy scare, breaking up with his nephew, or just being a shoulder to cry on. But he got our respect even more when he gave her a pep talk when she came out as bi. Her parents were not so thrilled at that, but the boss assured her that every time someone comes out of the closet, it makes the world a better place. And that's why we stan Raymond in this house. Now, while on the topic of his and Rosa's special relationship, yet another iconic Holt moment came during her almost wedding. Yes, I'm talking about when he built that balloon arch. Oh wait, no, he birthed it. When Diaz and Pimento suddenly decide to get married, the squad pools in to give them a wedding of a lifetime. Amy takes the lead, putting Raymond in charge of the graceful decoration. To her horror, he makes a balloon arch. She tries to put him off discreetly, but he takes it as an invitation to make a much bigger arch. Uh-oh. Finally, Santiago puts her foot down, and Holt miserably hides the arch in his office. Later, when Rosa cancels the wedding, she sees his creation and surprise, surprise, she's blown away at it. And we get a
vindication!
Told you he comes up with the best one-liners, but that's not the only thing he's good at. Whenever you need a solid distraction, you can always count on the Velvet Thunder. He brings the best distractions ever, like melting the most formidable judges into a puddle with his disarming charm, or seducing a potential enemy in the world's most interesting place, the Barrels Museum. But the moment that truly made us bow down to his deflecting skills came in Season 7. In the finale, when all hell broke loose. There's a citywide blackout going on, the entire squad is on high alert, and on top of an emergency, Amy goes into labor. At the precinct, there's no way to go to the hospital, so this is it. Rosa tries to calm her, but not all too well. It seems like Santiago is going to feel it all, until Holt and Terry step in. They deliver what might be the best performance I've ever seen. To Salt and Peppa's Push It, the legendary moment is just seared into my brain. Who knew the captain was hiding such sick dance moves? But then again, I guess it shouldn't be that surprising. He had been teasing us with some golden dances throughout the show. Remember when he diffused a situation with a street dance-off? Or of those sizzling moves in a dance competition? At this point, it's just plain and simple, folks. Every time Holt dances, it makes the viewer's day. But you know what makes his day? Defeating his archenemy Madeline Wunsch whenever he can, and boy, do his zingers to her zing. If she's in the field, all bets are off. The usually poised captain can bring out the most creative insults you've ever heard. His dry humor makes the comebacks even more legendary, and they never fail to make the audience cackle. I mean, calling her a reaper, a fork-tongued lizard witch, or commenting on her cloven hooves and bony fingers. Does it get better than this? I think not. Raymond never misses a beat to get the last word in. Like when Madeline randomly said sticks and stones, he immediately goes,
Describing your breakfast?
I can't even. Even though Wunsch time is over now and the deputy chief is dead, it didn't stop Holt from distributing bagels at her death. Yep, that's how much he despised her. But before passing away, she played one final game with him. Well played. She just knew her nemesis won't be able to stop bad-mouthing her. But it all played out so heartwarmingly, with the captain celebrating their epic rivalry. Gosh, that still makes me tear up a bit. Luckily, I have one last Holt moment that brings out the smile. Scratch that. A flat-out, side-splitting laugh from everyone. The math problem disagreement between Kevin and Raymond, or as Rosa so cleverly noticed, it wasn't the problem. The couple was just frustrated over the captain's night shift, and they needed to—
I said you two need a bone.
Saying Holt hates that word is an understatement, guys. His 20-minute freak out over it, involving screaming his heart out in a door, scolding Diaz, and yelling some more, was a comical masterpiece. Rosa's deadpan reaction, and Amy, totally shaken over it all, are just cherries on top. But hey, that crazy rant later, Holt and Kevin were back to being A-okay. Not because they solved the math equation they'd been fighting on, but because they,
Bone!
The entire uproarious situation goes down in history as a classic, and proves that Raymond Holt is the king, and one of the best characters to come out of a TV series. So from his hilarious reaction over boning his husband, to going on a John Wick hunt when his corgi was kidnapped, those were the most iconic moments of Captain Holt.